lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. Skies 60 degrees here in Warren. We've got a great contest between two rivals in the CHSL Central Division. It's number one in our poll, De La Salle, 12-2 on the year against Brother Rice, who comes into this contest 12-7 on the year in the reigning Catholic League champion. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chad Bush for the Prep alongside Evan Stockton. Evan, good to see you. You
Hi,
always
Chad.
show up for the big games. Flown in from New York to call this thing. Here you are. This is a fun one today. Glad you're here.
Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it. Yes, it is a lot of fun. So think about this matchup between Brother Rice and De La Salle. Brother Rice, you expect them to be good. They're good every year. They seemingly are playing for state championships, are right in that hunt every year. But as we'll get the chance to hear you talk to De La Salle's new head coach, but a head coach who this state knows very well, he was coming from Northville last year, and they beat Brother Rice for the state championship. And now he comes over to De La Salle, and he's brought that winning culture that has turned the Pilots from below 500 to who a lot of people think is the best team in the state this year. So, really fun matchup here today, and as we got, 5-6 weeks before state championships start getting decided up at Michigan State, this is the type of game where a couple of teams who want to play in games like that get to test themselves on a day that finally feels like spring.
Yeah, well said. And De La Salle comes in sort of the surprise team. Not a lot of folks had them ranked in the top 10 to start the year, let alone the top 2 or 3, which most polls have them. This is a De La Salle team that is kind of senior-led, Evan, and they've got guys that have just kind of been waiting for that extra spark and that extra spice, and Samini has seemed to just blended everything in just a little bit better.
You see it at every level of baseball where coaching matters. Managing matters. We saw it here in Michigan last year where A.J. Hinch and the Tigers in a roster on paper that's probably not good enough to get to the playoffs gets to the playoffs because this sport really is a great elaborate game of chess, and if you can make that right move or 2 or 3, you can turn a team from middling, like De La Salle was by their own admission last year at 17-20 to a team, again, who maybe is the best in the state. So, yes, you bring in a winning culture. You bring in somebody who knows how to move those chess pieces. And when you're playing a program, Brother Rice, who's young, but also very, very talented and very, very good, you got to make sure you play those chess pieces correctly. Make sure you move the queen and bishop the right way, you know?
Meanwhile, Brother Rice has had their share of being the king and being on top. Last year went all the way to the promised land, got to the state title game. Heartbreaking loss, as you mentioned already, to Dan Samini's club in Northville. But, look, already a state title to the credit of Bob Riker. He's a legendary coach. He's done great things at Brother Rice. They graduated 11 seniors, a handful of Power 4 kids. They've got a nice blend of talent with youth to go along with another handful of Division I kids already in the lineup.
Yeah, people in the baseball know in this state know the last name Vanamede because you've got the 2 great twins for Brother Rice. Their dad is on the coaching staff at Michigan State, but we'll see the catcher for Brother Rice, Broder Katke, very, very talented. In the 2 spot, Neshoff, the right fielder today in game 1 of the lineup for Brother Rice. It's maybe one of the best freshmen, forget just in Michigan, but in the Midwest. So for Brother Rice, it's young, but it's a lot of talent, and you'd expect that they're going to put up a very good fight in 2 today against De La Salle.
We've got a fun one. Let's step aside and get the words of Dan Samini. We'll have the first pitch on the other side of that break. Thanks for watching. We're the Prep. Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores! Back to the Preps game of the week. De La Salle taking on Brother Rice. We've got the first-year head coach, Dan Samini, 6-time state champion, and you've come to De La Salle, and you guys have won. Yes. Number 1 in our poll this week. Talk about the start you've had and how exciting it's been in your first year at De La Salle.
It's been great. You know, these are great kids, great young men, great baseball players, great student athletes. It's just been a really joy to coach them, prepare them, get them to buy into the system, and they've done a great job of that, and it shows with their start.
You started the year with a statement, a sweep over Brother Rice, and they're your opponent today. What are your thoughts on getting this team again and competing against one of the state's best?
Well, they're the cream of the crop. They're what everyone shoots for, so it only makes the other teams better that play against them. Win or lose, you're going to be better when the game's over. So they run a great program over there, and it's an honor to compete against them year in and year out. Riker does a great job.
You've won at Liggett. You've won when you were a player back at Grosse Pointe South, and you won last year the state title at Northville. What's the Cimini recipe for success, and what have you brought here to De La Salle?
Play this game the way it's supposed to be played. Compete against this game. Don't worry about who's pitching against you, who you're playing against. You got to go play this game. There's no winners and losers. Baseball doesn't let you have that. You've got to earn it, and you've got to go out there and compete against this game, and that's what we do. We play this game 7 innings and compete against the game and do the best we can, limit errors, limit balls, walks, try to play this game the right way.
You've got a strong senior core that's led this team. You're strong up the middle. How nice has it been to have these kids who have adapted to your style, and they've listened to you quite well?
It's been great. They're amazing kids. They're great baseball players. We have 8 kids going on to play college baseball, so they know what it takes, and they just needed someone to really show them and pump some life into them. And I think I've done that, and it shows with the way they play and the hustle and the drive that they have.
All the best today, and continued success for you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Stan Cimini getting his club ready to take on Brother Rice. More to come. The first pitch coming up right after this.
First, life gives us many. From buying your first car or first home to starting a business, Alliance Catholic Credit Union is here for you every step of the way. From checking and savings accounts and youth accounts to auto loans, mortgages, business needs, and financial planning. A full-service financial institution with over 70 years of experience. We're committed to serving your firsts, seconds, 50ths, and every day in between. Alliance Catholic Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
My time to shine. He took over. He got it. Splash.
And that will put some gauze on it.
Thought they were having a lot of fun, dishing it off to each other. The dunks were happening. Just a good time.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
Welcome back. We're just about ready for baseball. Let's meet the batting offensive lineup for the Brother Rice Warriors under Bob Riker. Here's Evan Stockton.
So, Chad, when we look at the 9 to start the ball game for Brother Rice, hitting for the Warriors, Cash Vandermeed and Cole Vandermeed, the 2 twins who are both playing Division I baseball next year, in the 1 spot and the 4 spot. But in today's world of baseball, from the professional ranks all the way to the high school level, really the key spot is the 2 spot. That's where they try to put the best all-around hitter these days. And Neshoff, who we just talked about at the top of the broadcast in that 2 spot, maybe the best freshman in this state. Excited to watch him.
It's a talented lineup, and it starts with a fastball over for a strike. And first pitch at 4:03. Cash Vandermeed, the batter, the lefty, against the right-handed pitching Dylan Lupke, and he is out on strikes. Of course, the three balls, 2 strikes, Catholic League rules in effect. And right away we see Lupke with that power right arm.
Well, we talk about the velocity for Lupke. That's, again, the focus of pretty much any level of baseball these days. But he did a great job on that sequencing, Chad. Start off the game with a fastball on the inside part of the plate. As per the Catholic League rules, you get ahead of the guy, and then you throw him in a spot outside part of the plate where he's not going to hit it.
No, sir. This is the freshman sensation, Max Neshoff. He's a switch hitter. He's batting left against the right-handed pitching of Lupke. Inside corner strike called. It's been a fantastic start for the rookie. .439 hitter, 2 home runs, 12 runs driven in, 8 stolen bases, and by most publications and experts, the top freshman in the state of Michigan. There's a foul, watch out, it almost got Dan Cimini and assistant coach Casey Wyla down there.
So that's always the danger when you're hanging over the railing like that. You're feeling comfortable until someone hits you right in that direction. So if they weren't awake yet, they're now awake over there.
.5 ERA for Lupke, and that's why. 2 up, 2 down, both Ks. And Neshoff says, oh, yeah, it's 3-2 ball here.
Hey, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Couple of batters in. Lupke continues to pour that fastball on the outside part of the plate. If there's such a thing as an unhittable pitch, it's well-located heat at the knees, outside corner. You ain't hit that thing.
No, sir. It's a fastball that can reach 90. Got the slider, which is his second best pitch, and also the curve. For De La Salle, 12-2 on the year, 10-2 in the Catholic League, #1 in the Central Division. Nobody had them as #1 in the preseason in this tough division. Swing and a miss. This is one of the top players in the state of Michigan, Broder Katke, a catcher, a star, a two-way guy. He's committed to Duke. This is a big-time right-handed stick. He's got his hands full against Dylan Lupke, who's really really dealing right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 3 up, 3 down, 3 Ks, inning over. We go to the bottom half of the first. Zeros across the board.
Brotherhood is the #1 thing at De La Salle. It's just one big family here.
De La Salle, there's just something that sets it apart. There's a feeling, there's a growth, there's the idea of the builders of boys, makers of men.
They understand that it's a prep school and they're treating it like it's college, which, I mean, I have felt like I could take on anything and I'd be ready to go because how well I've been prepped being here.
Chad and Evan back with you. A 1-2-3 for Lupke, and it was quick work, Evan.
Well, it was, because he recognized that fastball is working today, man, so let's keep going back to that thing. Lupke threw a couple of sliders in the first inning, and they weren't all that great, so he said, I'll stick with the heat, Chad. And now we see if this De La Salle starting 9 can back up the excellent start by their starting pitcher in the top of the first. So Vito Zito, the catcher, yes, he has an incredible name, but also he's a very good story for De La Salle, because last year he wasn't even the starter, but new coaching staff came in, injected him with some confidence, and he's played really well for De La Salle. And Zach Wagner as well is a big dude, Chad, in the 5 spot. He's probably going to go play Division I football somewhere because he's 6'4", 235, but De La Salle's team is big, and they're going to have a challenge on the mound today. This is a good starting pitcher for Brother Rice.
It is. It's Cole Duhame, the Virginia commit. And Duhame, 20 innings pitched, 27 strikeouts, and a 2.45 ERA. He's coming off an all-state campaign last year, and this is one of the top 5 arms in the state of Michigan. And the junior Cole Duhame, 6'3", 185, left-hander. So he's going to face a lineup, as Evan said, a potent one. J.J. Jerzyk will lead things off. Left-handed stick, and a guy that's done a lot of things for them, but he's been part of what this team's all about, buying in to Dan Cimini's route and path that he's paved before, and they've bought in.
Yeah, good teams can be greater than the sum of their parts, and that really has been the story for these Pilots.
Lefty on lefty to start things. It's a bunt, a firm one for Jerzyk. Throw is low and wide. It gets past. Jerzyk will get down to second base, and we'll see how they score it. But a throw that was wide and errant, and Flores didn't have a chance.
So this is a good idea because we just saw in the top half of the first inning, right? De La Salle starting pitcher gets in a groove, and when you have two talented starting pitchers like we have here today, if they get in a zone early, we see it all the time with Tarek Skubal with the Tigers, right? He gets in a zone early, and you have no shot to get him later in the game because he's in that zone. At least here, Duhaime, there's pressure on him. Should it have been an out? Yes. Was it a great bunt? No. But you've put pressure on the defense, and now you're making this really talented dude work to get out of a jam in the first.
You bet. Here's Mason Pilarski, their best hitter, Western Michigan commit. The fastball's inside from Duhaime. It's a 3-pitch variety for Cole Duhaime, the lefty, but he's in a jam here. It was an error that'll go to the third baseman, Jackson Hafner. Just a freshman. His throw was wide of the freshman, Anthony Flores, as well. And it was a tough defense to replace last year. This was a very good Brother Rice defense, and you mentioned it, put pressure on that defense, especially on the youth. Pilarski awaits the Duhaime pitch, and it nabs the inside corner for a strike.
To avoid confusion today, Chad, when it's a 1-1 count, should we say it's actually 2-2? Like, what should we do here? What do you think?
I think we call it what it is.
Okay.
And our viewers are going to be savvy today, and they're going to adjust. Swing and a miss. Out on strikes. Big strikeout for Duhaime, and that is out number 1.
It's a good sign of a good pitcher, man. You get in trouble and you rely on your stuff to get you out of it. The thing that's so hard for Pilarski at the plate, out of the hand, that thing looks like it's coming down the middle, but that like little cutting action in on the hands, it's a really good pitch.
It is indeed. And this is a guy that can really throw it. Duhaime. There's a ground ball, first base side, handled by Flores. He'll tag the bag. That's 2 outs. Runner advances to third. That's Jerzik, who is on via the error. And just like that, there's 2 outs and a chance now for Mason Stempen.
That's the ground ball they needed in the prior at-bat to get Jerzik to third with 1 out. And, of course, a chance to bring him home on a sac fly or an RBI groundout or something like that. Big at-bat here, though, for Stempen.
Great season for Mason Stempen, the Adrian commit. He checked his swing. Did he go? They'll say he did. Big, lanky middle infielder, Stempen at second base. He's played shortstop as well. Very good contact hitter. Check swing again, and he did not go that time. 1-1 the count to Mason Stempen. Smooth defender. Tall, lanky kid. Open stance against Duhaime. Runner at third. Scoreless game, bottom of the first. Foul tip into the glove, strikeout, inning over. So a runner stranded at third. We go to the top of the second. No score yet in Warren.
The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move. And it's out of here.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
The Pilots, top team in our poll this week. Vito Zito, you mentioned the all-name team. You bet.
Excellent.
He's where it starts up the middle. He's been a good one behind home plate. John Bismack at third. Mason Pilarski at short. Mason Stempen, the Masons manning the middle. Zach Wagner at first. Brady Lee in right. J.J. Jerzik in center. And Joey Kapari in left field. for Warren De La Salle. Dan Cimini in his first year, Mike Rice an assistant, and Casey Wyla an assistant as well.
Where do you fall, Chad, on the pinstriped look? Not just for De La Salle, but for any baseball team.
I generally don't like it because
Okay.
I generally don't like the Yankees.
I knew you were going to say that.
But I
knew you were gonna
try
say
to
that.
look past that. I think it can look really good, and I'll be honest, I'm not being I mean it. These look pretty dang good.
Yeah.
I like them on De La Salle. I think it's just the blue pinstripe
Okay.
that gets me going. I don't know. Sorry, I know you were with the Mets organization.
I was going to
as
say,
well.
you don't have to think about Yankees, man. You
Mets
think about
as
the
well.
Mets.
Yeah.
Come on now.
New York, I guess. Here's Cole Vandermeed, and Cole looks at one inside.
Thing that changed here in this at-bat, Chad, was Lupke for the first time tried to start off Vandermeed with a breaking ball. And that breaking ball, he's only thrown it 3 times, and it hasn't had snap to it. So now you put yourself in a scenario, right, where in this 3-2 count in the Catholic League, you're forced to throw a strike. You put your pressure on yourself at 1-0. You throw it outside, and now you get him out of his rhythm. This is what we just talked about in the bottom of the first inning, where De La Salle dropped down a bunt and tried to put some pressure on Brother Rice. When you're facing talented pitchers like this, you have to get in their head because this sport is so mental.
No doubt. The Michigan State commit Cole Vandermeed walks, the bunt, the throw to first, and Tristan Turner has executed a sacrifice perfectly, 1 out, and the runner with good speed, Cole Vandermeed, advances to second in scoring position for Jackson Hafner, the freshman.
Not the prettiest bunt, but it's effective. You mentioned that speed for Vandermeed, get him to second base. And now if I'm Zito, that catcher for De La Salle, what I just said to Dylan on the mound is, I got to throw a first pitch strike here. We cannot be afraid. Let's go right at Hafner. Let's make him hit it. And if he drives in a run, whatever, man. It's a second inning. We still got basically the whole game to go.
Right on. Dylan Lupke checks the runner at second. Vandermeed, this one is popped up foul. Just a freshman, but very promising. Jackson Hafner in the middle of this Brother Rice lineup for Bob Riker. Bob Riker had to attend a funeral, and we express our condolences. His former classmate at Brother Rice, and he will be getting here soon enough. There goes the runner and fouled off. Vandermeed was on the move. In the meanwhile, Kyle Galley will take over as acting head coach along with Coach Tom Hennig. Couldn't think of his last name, but came to me in that last sense. We're still getting the baseball cobwebs.
That's true. That's right. Man, it was so nice yesterday. 80 degrees. It's finally feeling like springtime.
It feels just right. Inside, and the lanky freshman lefty had to scurry out of the way. 6'3", 195 for Hafner. Part of that corner combination of freshmen. Not ready for the 2-2 just yet. And Brother Rice loving the at-bat control.
A little bit of noise from that dugout. Something special you get at the high school level that you don't quite get at the college level. Lord knows at the pro level. That intensity,
Yeah.
that youthful exuberance.
Got Hafner on strikes. Lupke with a K is second of the day. Make it his 5th of the day.
Remember how we talked about earlier this sport as a chess match? You can do it on the coaching side, and you can also do it on the mound. They kept setting up that pitch the entire at-bat, away, and then you come back inside. And that caught a little bit too much of the plate for Lupke's liking, but still got it by Hafner. Big strikeout.
He's kind of got that 3/4 arm slot, but hides the ball a bit, and it's hard to time up and see in a timely manner.
Well, you talk about the arm slot, not just that, but yeah, hiding the ball behind his head, behind his cap.
Yeah.
Watch here on this pitch as number 2 for De La Salle throws the ball. As a hitter, you're trying to pick that thing up, but watch, it's not quite a shot put motion, but he does a nice job of hiding it behind the head. Tough to pick up.
Yep. Vandermeed at second. That's Cole, the Michigan State commit, and not yet. Freddie Beyer is the batter. Beyer, the left fielder, the batter. He's a junior, 5'9", 170.
The Brother Rice dugout just yelled it's Frederick Byer. So if they want us to call him Frederick, we can do that.
If they want it, they'll get it. But if you give those kids everything they want in that dugout,
Well, yeah,
we might be in trouble now.
that's very true.
We start here, but we gotta draw the line somewhere now. But I'll go with Frederick. Frederick Byer back in the box.
That's funny.
3-1 count. Or 2-1 count, rather. The pitch. Lined towards a Subaru down Common Street.
Did you park down that street?
No, I did, yeah. I did park down that street, but not towards that way.
You got to be strategic. I am way out in foul ground down the left field line. So if someone hits my car, you know what? God bless you. That's a great foul ball.
You know what? I did move my car, yeah. But I'm with you. Like, it's like getting hit by lightning. If you're going to hit my car, fine, take me. It was my time to get hit.
Now I know what to say to Chad if he ever gets hit by lightning. Well, you said once you wouldn't be upset.
Just remind me. Frederick awaits the pitch. Vandermeed back to second. And it's off the mid of Mason Pilarski. No damage done. Jersic had his back in center field in case something went awry. Glad you're with us. No score yet. De La Salle swept Brother Rice in the first 2 games of De La Salle's season, sending a shock amongst the state of Michigan and baseballers. The pitch, ground ball firmly to second. Routine play, though, for this kid. Stempin's throw to first. Side retired, a runner stranded. We go to the bottom half.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Defense for Brother Rice, as we've talked about already earlier in the broadcast, the Vandermeeds are the ones who help to highlight for Brother Rice. You got one in center, you got one at short. This is a young Brother Rice team, but talented, Chad, as we've talked about so far in this game. When you have a younger team with the expectations like Brother Rice has every year, how do you try to mitigate those expectations, you think?
I think you just try to let your arms try to set the tone and give yourself a chance defensively and with the pitching, just shutting things down, starting there. Let's take care of home base first.
Right.
And then allowing your hitters to work in, getting them in good counts, getting ahead of counts, and letting the veterans sort of get themselves into a groove, set the tone, and get some hits so the younger guys don't have to feel that pressure.
Zach Wagner in a 1-2 hole here. Cole Duhame had to leave a runner on third in the first. Got him on high heat, which is tough to do when you're 6'4". That one was like 6'7" at his eyes, and Duhame has his third strikeout already.
You mentioned it earlier. It's a two-seamer, and it just rises. Like it's a two-seamer with rise, not just your standard two-seamer. And it's nasty, and it's flying today.
Bismack lines it back. You know, that concept of rise comes from softball, where, of course, they throw underhanded and the ball can literally rise. They tell us that it's actually impossible for the ball to rise in baseball, although a hitter will tell you, I swear, man, when it's a good fastball, that thing's going up.
Tell these hitters that.
It's another rising fastball. Count evens up, 2-2.
And it's in control. Like, this guy is on point. His location is one of his best assets. He can throw all three of his pitches, or four, for strikes. When he wants, where he wants, in, out, up, down.
Went down that time and just missed. Joey Kapari waiting on deck. Posh Daka, the DH, would be after that. De La Salle's got to get somebody on base here against Duhame. Got him. Went to the same spot for strikeout swinging number 4 in 5 batters faced for Cole Duhame.
Yeah, just the ability to mix pitches up and mix locations up. I mean, that time he just went right at him. But Duhame's got it all working today, the fastball, the slider, and also the changeup.
And now Kapari's got to go lefty on left against a locked-in lefty. That is the tricky thing, right, about these 1-1 counts in the Catholic League. Yes, as a hitter, it gets you ready to go early, but when a pitcher's locked in like Cole is right now, you're going to the plate thinking, we don't need to give this guy a strike.
No, it's like he gets an extra foot in the strike zone.
That one beautifully on the outside corner, even up the count.
If he's going to get that call today, which I'm not saying he shouldn't, I mean, it's going to be a long day. And he can locate that pitch so well, both sides of the plate.
Only base runner of the game for De La Salle, J.J. Jerzyk, the leadoff hitting center fielder, dropped down a bunt on the first pitch of the bottom of the first and reached on a 2-base error. Ever since Cole Duhame has had those De La Salle guys at the plate wondering what the heck's coming up there. Keeps feeding that outside part of the plate in this at-bat.
Yeah, and I think that's part of his maturity as a pitcher. And he was mature last year as a sophomore, but, you know, don't let that affect you. Settle down. Got a guy on base. It wasn't your fault. Move on. Pitch the next pitch and go at hitters.
It's a nice at-bat here for Kapari. Fouled off a couple in a row on Duhame. Went to the off-speed that time. This De La Salle team been the surprise of the state. From under 500 this year to who many think is the best right now in the state. He got him. Oh, Duhame is painting corners. That's another strikeout. 5 so far in the game. And De La Salle's got to figure out this Rubik's Cube when they're back to the plate in the third.
Your Catholic faith, it's at the core of who you are, what you do, and the decisions you make. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we make your faith and finances work together. From home needs to business needs, from school to retirement, we've got the financial well-being of our Catholic community covered. Visit us today and see how your faith and finances can work together. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
There are a few things that are constants in the wonderful world of Michigan high school athletics, and one of the constants is the Brother Rice baseball team is going to have talent. From Nick Plummer on down the last decade or so, it's been a lot of very talented guys to come out of that program, Chad, and we were just seeing some of the 5 strikeouts already in this game for Cole Duhame, who 2 innings in has kept the Pilots perplexed at the plate.
Yeah, and when you've got that breaking ball in your back pocket, and you mentioned it off air, he just sets him up, and you could see it coming, and he can locate it anywhere he wants, and you're going to hang it on the outside corner like that, it's almost downright dirty.
Dylan Lupke hasn't been half bad himself so far for Brother Rice for De La Salle today. Well, Chad, he hasn't thrown a ton of breaking balls. I know the coaching staff told you before the game they did like the breaking stuff from Lupke.
He does, yeah. And the slider is second best pitch, the wipeout slider. We haven't seen it. He hasn't found it yet. Stay tuned.
Another fastball, this one on the inside part of the plate, and a 2-2 count on Anthony Flores for Brother Rice.
Brother Tito Flores, University of Michigan Wolverine, had an illustrious career at Brother Rice and also had a fine career at Michigan. Another
heater. Outside, and the count's full.
Brother's more of a slight build, shorter. Fireballer, I think 5'9", he threw 92, 93. This kid's big. Like, they're not the same size. Pace.
Oh, into the leaping glove of Stempen. A half little Mario leap for an out here in the third.
Dan Cimini loves his middle infield, and he loves Mason Stempen. And it's his athletic ability, it's his length, it's his size, his intuition. This kid's a ball player, and they love Stempen at second base and his abilities defensively. And he's really come out as an offensive player this year, too.
Wave and a miss. Hornberger chasing some high cheese. Coach Cimini giving the signals here on another 1-2 for Dylan Lupke. Oh, he got him on the outside corner. That's 5 strikeouts for Dylan, and these pitchers are dealing.
He's been equally dazzling. And here's another look at it. We talked about the location Duhaime's putting on. Yeah, how about this? Lupke's been on point too. And that one was just firm and right on the black. Great location.
We'll recycle to the top in Cash Vandermeed. Future Spartan. Struck out swinging last time. Future Golden Grizzly at Oakland. Hoping to turn the tide against Lupke.
Very skilled player, Evan. I've watched this kid since he was 8 years old when he and his brothers were turning double plays at Eastern Michigan when their dad was the head coach, Mark Vandermeed. Of course, now the Michigan State pitching coach. Very athletic.
One chase on the outside corner that time.
And as you know, as a brother of 3 boys,
yeah,
right? Well, he's one of 3 boys, including his twin brother and his older brother, who's at Notre Dame.
I heard that's a decent place to get a degree. Not bad.
Not bad.
Right down Broadway. Another called strike 3. Lupke, 6 Ks, 3 innings in. He's feeling it.
Brotherhood is the #1 thing at De La Salle. It's just one big family here.
De La Salle, there's just something that sets it apart. There's a feeling, there's a growth, there's the idea of the builders of boys, makers of men.
They understand that it's a prep school and they're treating it like it's college, which, I mean, I felt like I could take on anything and I'd be ready to go because how well I've been prepped being here.
The shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
Athletic success is expected at De La Salle in all sports, but the turnaround, Chad, for De La Salle in baseball has been impressive to watch. From last year to this year, under 500 last year to many think this is the favorite to win the whole thing this year.
Yeah, I mean, they've really outdone expectations, especially with a first-year head coach. Dan Cimini, who took over for John Masaccio, who was here for 3 years. Brian Kelly, a rich tradition. Look at state championships, 4 of them. The cupboard's not bare. They know how to win in baseball here, and they needed somebody to kind of kick them over the edge. And let's credit the kids first. These kids have come around. They're not used to winning here in a tough, tough division, let's say. And let's be fair in that, too.
Hafnerfield's at third, and 1 pitch and 1 out in the bottom of the third as this De La Salle offense, Chad, is trying to figure out the Cole Duhaime mastery. Couple innings in for Brother Rice.
Yeah, and it's a good offense, but they're going against one of the best pitchers in the state of Michigan, maybe the best left-handed pitcher in the state of Michigan. But, you know, look, this is a tough task, and you got to be patient, but you also have to be ready to hit in the Catholic League where it's 3-2 baseball.
Brady Lee chops it foul. Chad, how are we feeling about Brady Lee's pink bat contrasted with those purple and white pinstripes for the Pilots today?
He's got confidence. Anybody who goes up with something pink has confidence, and I like it. You got to be confident facing Cole Duhame if you want any kind of chance.
So far today, you may as well bring a toothpick up there because Cole is painting corners at 6 strikeouts, 9 batters in, his second backwards K.
I mean, Evan, that pitch just hugs the inside corner. There's really no chance there. You can hope and guess to foul it off, but that's the slurve. That's the tight breaker. It is the slider, and it's nasty on a lefty.
For the uninitiated, the slurve is a combination of a slider and a curve. All these pitches move in weird ways these days, so we have to combine pitches. There is a combination of a slider and a cutter, which some have tried to name a certain way, but I don't think on a Catholic League broadcast the way they combine slider and cutter is really something we should say. So we're just going to leave that alone for now.
I think everyone just said it in their head.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw Mike Batches just mouth it over there. Michael, don't say that anymore. Come on. I know. Nobody saw it.
It's a family show. Theater of the imagination. We got our first base runner for De La Salle since Jerzyk reached on an error in the first. A little 2-out traffic for De La Salle.
And this is what J.J. Jerzyk has done all season. He's a leader, and this is a guy that has a wonderful at-bat against Duhame, who's just been painting corners and throwing strikes. What a nice job for a leadoff hitter doing what he does best, get on base.
Second at bat for Mason Pilarski. He was a strikeout victim of Duhame in the first. Handful in a row out of the zone here.
Now, Jerzyk can run. He runs very well. He is against Duhame, of course, a lefty. So there's concern, but there are 2 outs, and if you want to make some magic, this could be a chance to do so with your best hitter up.
Lace to right at Neshoff. First good contact of the day for De La Salle, but right to the Brother Rice right fielder. 0-0. On to the fourth, and game 1 of a twin bill between 2 of the best in the state.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Brother Rice, 3 state titles in their history, 2008 under Bob Riker, Coach Kalzinski in 92 and 94. You may have heard of their notable alum, DJ LeMahieu. And DJ having a great career, of course, with the Yankees. I think he was injured early on this year. I'm not sure if he's back. But anyway, Brother Rice, a wonderful history.
Yep.
And they got all the way to the state title game last year. They did lose. But this is a team that's capable of doing it year in and year out, and especially this season.
Absolutely. It's a Brother Rice team that is young but very talented. We've seen Cole Duhame's excellence on the mound 3 innings in. And now they're going to figure out Lupke. I think the key here for Brother Rice, Chad, is they got to start attacking early because Dillon has really only thrown fastballs in this game. They've just been really well located fastballs.
So Neshoff to lead things off against Lupke. And Neshoff not quite ready yet. This is a big-time player. Left-handed, but he's a switch hitter, and he's in the hole with 2 strikes.
So how do you counter if you're Dylan Lupke? He knows Brother Rice is going to get aggressive on him here. So how do you counter that? We're changing eye levels. We're changing locations of what we did the first time through. A lot of fastballs on the outside part of the plate first time.
About to throw his 33rd pitch of the afternoon, and it is strike 3. Got him. Another K, his 7th of the afternoon.
When you've pitched as well as Dillon has in this game, you're going to get some calls. I can understand why Neshoff thought that was a little bit low and a little bit outside, but when a guy's dealing, the home plate umpire is just going to give you the benefit of the doubt. That's a really well-located pitch, and if you're Neshoff, even if you think it's a ball, you probably got to be hacking at that thing.
That's right. So that'll bring up Broder Katke, the Duke commit. Just a sophomore. An outstanding defensive catcher and maybe a better hitter. It's a toss-up of what this kid's better at. He's plus at both, and this is an MLB draft prospect. And he fouls one over towards a Chevy that's in jeopardy on that street.
We've had a couple of hot shot foul balls down that right field line.
We brought Joe Mooney in for game 2. We're bringing all the All-Stars in for commentary. And I wonder if that hit Mooney's limousine parked down there. He's just getting loose.
Send you a bill, man.
Oh, yeah.
Send you a bill.
I bet. Katke awaits the pitch, and that is outside. That was the off-speed pitch from Dylan Lupke in this battle between a couple of studs in this Catholic League Central Division. Missed outside. Katke draws a walk. Not a lot of traffic today, but with 1 out, there's now 1 on, and the middle of this lineup continues with a 4-hitter, Cole Vandermeed, this future Spartan.
Yeah, the thing that got Dillon in that last at-bat was he started throwing the breaking ball, which hasn't been a very good pitch for him so far today. So if the fastball's working, man, just keep using that fastball. So if you're Lupke right here, working with your catcher, Zito, it's imperative what you decide to use on a couple of levels because Katke's at first. We got 1 out. In a 1-2 count, maybe he's trying to steal. So if you're Zito, you're probably thinking fastball on the outside part of the plate. So A, Vandermeed can't hit it, and B, we try to nullify the running game if they do try to send him from first. So they go with the pitch on the outside part of the plate. You know, Dillon's thrown a couple more breaking pieces so far in this 4th inning, Chad. I would think here we're going fastball, either outside or high, maybe both.
Yeah, and you got to be careful of the speed at first base as well. Here's the pitch to Vandermeed. Strike 3, got him on the corner. Another strikeout, that's number 8 for Lupke as he finds the edge beautifully on the outside.
Yeah, call him Picasso, man. He's painting corners. I mean, you can't hit that pitch. And again, you can understand why Vandermeed thinks that's outside, but when Dillon's been as good as he has today, you have to expect that the strike zone's going to expand, honestly.
Yep. Here's Tristan Turner. His brother Owen Turner was a senior on the team last year for Brother Rice. He's now a freshman at Yale and doing great things for the Yale Bulldogs as a student athlete. He was fabulous last year, batting over 400. That one is ripped to center. That's a base hit. That's down. Holding at second base is Katke. And actually, that's the pinch runner, Sutton Polazic. He's just a freshman. So Polazic is running for Katke. He advances to second. Turner with a base hit, just the second hit today.
Yeah, and a nice piece of hitting, too. It caught a little bit too much of the plate in that spot for Lupke. Turned around the fastball, and now here we go. Big spot. First time either team so far today, Chad, has had 2 guys on base one time.
2 on, 2 outs, top of the 4th, no score. Inside it hit him. Hafner is hit with a pitch. The bases are now loaded, and that will bring up Frederick Beyer, the freshman, in a big, big spot here. Excuse me, the junior. Frederick's a junior. So now a conversation. Dan Cimini has come out to have a word with Dylan Lupke.
And I like this here. You settle your guy down where clearly his confidence has wavered a bit, and it all started when Kaki got that 1-out walk, because Lupke has done such a nice job with fastballs today, but where he's run into problems in this inning is where he just ran into a problem and hitting Hafner. He's not locating the breaking ball. Dylan's thrown that off-speed pitch more often here in the 4th inning. But when you're in a pickle and when you got to get out of a jam, you usually go to what's your best. So I would think Dylan's going to the fastball here and living with the results. Biggest at-bat of the game.
2 strikeouts already in this inning. He faces Beyer. He grounded out his other time up. Bases are loaded. Polachuk at third. In the dirt, fine play by Zito to hold that runner at third. Turner at second, Hafner at first. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and now a 2-1 count to Beyer. Lupke ready. And that one gets away, and here comes the runner from third, and Polachuk scores. It's 1-0 Brother Rice on the wild pitch. And the Warriors take advantage of the wildness in this inning that we have just not seen up until now.
Zito had a really nice block on the first pitch of this at-bat, but the second one was essentially the same pitch, and it just flat got away from him. Yeah, if I'm De La Salle, I'm in that dugout praying that Dylan gets one more out here. Well, by the way, it's a 3-1 count, so a ball out of the zone and the bases are reloaded.
Turner moves up to third, Hafner at second, Beyer the batter. And the tapper back, and the count is now full.
And again, you play this game within a game. So if I'm Zito here, it's been proven in this at-bat that Dylan's not going to throw the breaking ball for a strike. So what are we calling here? We're calling fastball, but you have to be careful. Walk's not the end of the world with the bag open at first. What is the end of the world is a 2-run base hit.
Flores in the on-deck circle. 1-0 Brother Rice. Ground ball to short. Routine play for the Division I commit. Throw to first. Side retired. Pilarski to Wagner. But not before Brother Rice gets a run. Draws first blood. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and Warren.
We are the MHSAA, a collection of 750 high schools and 750 middle schools, from Temperance to Copper Harbor, from New Buffalo to Alpena. Each year, more than 250,000 students play one of our 28 sports. More than 1.5 million fans attend our postseason games. There are 30,000 coaches and 8,000 officials, not to mention all of the volunteers. The MHSAA believes in the 4 S's. School sports should be safe and kept in the appropriate scope. We believe nothing beats great sportsmanship, and that scholarship in the classroom is more important than excellence on the field or court. Most of all, we believe school sports should be fun. So come out and join us at a game. Support your school, support your community, and come see what the excitement is all about.
Thanks to our friends at Jets Pizza on Hayes Road in Warren for taking care of this crew and feeding us some nice pepperoni and cheese, some cheese pizza, some salad. The Hunt Man with no Pat the Stat is getting all the lion's share of that greens. Boy, that's a big toothbrush for the colon right there, my man. All right. So Vito Zito is the batter, and he looks at a breaking ball from Duhame that's over for a strike, Kevin.
Best walk-up song of the day, Vito Zito going with My Girl.
Yeah.
It's also Francisco Lindor's walk-up for the Mets.
Is that right?
Outstanding work. Well done, sir.
Okay. Duhame, the Virginia commit, is low.
What would your walk-up song be?
Thunderstruck?
Really?
Maybe.
Okay. Seems a little...
Back in Black,
yeah.
maybe? Something like that. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
I think there's better ones, but that's what comes to mind when you ask me. That's a breaking ball. That's looped to center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. It'll drop in front of Vandermeed. It's a leadoff single for De La Salle, who trails by a run here in the fourth.
You know, if I'm Cole Duhame, I'm on the mound going, man, this has been such a good game, and that's the thing that's going to fall. I mean, Zito here doesn't get outstanding contact on this ball, but he gets just enough on a breaking ball that hung a little bit. And as we've talked about, Chad, if you're De La Salle facing Duhame, who's been so good in this game, you just got to make him think. You just got to get him out of a groove, because if you let him start off the inning strong, you're kind of in trouble.
That's right. Mason Stempen, the batter, the Adrian commit, and he skies one foul and out of play. He struck out in the first. And just a guy who has great contact, good bat control. And with Vito Zito on, guy who runs fairly well. We'll see what they got going here. Check swing, and that one's fouled back. Quickly ahead is Duhame with 2 strikes.
Watch to see what Duhame throws here. Remember, he just gave up that base hit on a hanging curveball. Contact wasn't great, but it still dropped. So does he trust his stuff enough to go back to the breaking ball?
Line shot, center field, hit hard, but hit right at the center fielder Cole Vandermeed for out number 1, despite it being a loud one.
Yeah, and he went to the fastball here. So that tells you something, right? He just gave up a hit on the breaking ball, and then in a spot where he's trying to put a guy away ahead in the count, 2 strikes, he does throw fastball, and Stempen, to his credit, turned that thing around. So maybe Cole's overthinking it a little bit here in the fourth inning.
That's fair. Here comes the big left-handed stick, Zach Wagner. Runner on at first, 1 out. 1-0 Brother Rice over De La Salle. Swing and a miss. How about that one?
That was his best pitch of the day. That thing fell off the table.
Almost an ephus. Pretty filthy. Wagner, a Division I football prospect as well as a tight end. Plays for Dan Roan, who doubles as the athletic director. Another nasty breaker that doesn't break far enough, allegedly.
Home plate umpire has granted the outside corner today. Apparently he's not going to grant the inside corner. That was close.
Yeah. Big Zach Wagner, 6'4", 235, the junior, with the runner on at first. And there goes the runner, delayed steal, throw down to second, not in time. So how about a little bit of a risky, and that's Salamone who's on to run, I believe.
Yeah, running for the catcher, Zito, and you nailed it. That's just a delayed steal. Worked out, too, on a breaking ball. The plot thickens.
Duhame against Wagner, a pair of southpaws. Swing and a miss, out on strikes. 2 are out with a runner still at second base.
Went right back to that heat, but this one was much better. Riding action on the hands of Wagner. That's so tough, lefty on left. Brilliant pitch from Duhame, who's, when he's had to in this 4th inning, has snapped off some really good ones, Chad.
7th K for the Virginia commit, Cole Duhame. And one of the nastiest lefties in the state and in the Midwest and in the country. That's a strike over the inside corner. John Bismack, the third baseman. Chance to tie this game. Runner at second, itching to come home. Not now, not here. Duhame punches out his 7th of the day. Strands the runner at second despite the hit. We go to the 5th. Thanks for watching from Warren. 1-0 Brother Rice over De La Salle.
The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move. And it's out of here.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
On a Wednesday afternoon, we have a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel in game one of a twin bill between two of the state's very best. Anthony Flores, the next guy to try to solve Dylan Lupke, who did run into some potholes in the first, gave up a run that allowed Brother Rice to take a 1-0 lead. But Lupke's racked up the strikeouts in this game. Struck out the side in the first and has been tacking on ever since. Has 8 in the first 4 innings for De La Salle.
Yeah, and ran into trouble last inning, just couldn't find the fastball or the breaking ball. So interesting to see if he can bounce back and get back to the pitcher he was before last.
Easy pickings for Stempen at second. More weak contact against Lupke in this game, 1 gone in the 5th.
Yeah, this is a good piece of working the outside edge, forcing the hitter to reach at a ball, get out of his wheelhouse, and attacking the strike zone, giving yourself a chance. Saw the wild pitches, and it just wasn't the Lupke we saw for most of this game.
And obviously, Chad, it's a little different in the Catholic League with the strike zone, the count starting at 1-1 and in 7 innings and doubleheaders in high school. But ball in the air to left, slicing down the line and landing fair. Hornberger, the 9-hitter, goes the other way. There's our first extra base hit of the day, put in the right spot for Brother Rice.
How about it? Yeah, it's Hornberger, the junior at 5'11", that comes in and just slices it down that line. Hitting out of that 9 hole, gets a big hit as the DH, hitting for Cole Duhame. Huge 1-out hit.
And now you send it to the top of the lineup where Brother Rice can balloon the lead. Just talking about how you want in these doubleheaders, especially game 1, for your guys to go length and save the bullpen if you need it later in the game. Well, maybe Brother Rice can get to Lupke further here in the 5th and get to that De La Salle bullpen.
That's right. It's a doubleheader. It matters.
In the air, right center. Long run for Jerzik to the left. Center fielder makes a nice running catch. Hornberger to tag and get to third. But Jerzik makes the correct read right away.
I think they're going to appeal here, and I think it's the right decision. I thought he left early too, and we're going to get the advantage of the replay here. Alex Westfall is going to wave that wizard wand. I thought he left early too. We'll get a look here, but
It's close.
It's close. It's close. Great base running. Hey, it was well timed, aggressive.
Chance for the highly talented and touted freshman Maxim Neshoff to come through here But Dylan Lukey's had his number today. Couple of strikeouts and already ahead in the count 1-2.
And a good job by Jerzyk to track that ball down in the gap. It wasn't the easiest ball to track down.
Hard hit, but right to short. Pilarski on to first. And Brother Rice leaves a runner 90 feet away.
That ball misdirected a little bit. It hit the mound, Evan, and this is a good job of sticking with it. You can see why Mason Pilarski is a Division I shortstop and the leader of this pilot club.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
7-8-9 coming for De La Salle. It's Kapari, Daka, and Lee, the three scheduled against Cole Duhame, who's pitching a masterpiece so far in game one of the doubleheader. Cole's racked up the strikeouts. The future Virginia Cavalier has 8 so far in this game, including a looking strikeout of Kapari back in the second. Although Joey put together a nice at-bat against Cole back in the second. Fouled off a couple of pitches and took him to 7 pitches, which is a long at-bat in the Catholic League when the count starts at 1-1. It's a 3-1 count here. When Cole's needed a strike today, he has found that outside part of the plate. De La Salle, ranked by many as the best in the state. A call strike 3. It was dropped by the catcher, who ends up flipping on to first, and Duhame gets strikeout number 9 in this game, and he struck out Kapari looking for the second time.
Yeah, he's got it all working here as we get another look at the pitch. But this is important here in the 5th, getting the leadoff man and getting the bottom of this order. This is the kind of attack you need, and Duhame has not lost sharpness. In fact, he's gotten sharper as the game has gone on.
It says a lot about a pitcher when you fall behind in a count in a close game early in an at-bat, and you can just dial it in right where you need to be. That was pretty impressive when he was down in that last at-bat.
You bet.
Haka lines it right back to the screen, stays alive.
It's another power bat, good-sized kid, Daka, and another guy that can find the gaps pretty easily.
Not that time. Duhame is dealing. How about 10 Ks? Hello.
Going right at him, too. I mean, this is a pitch. Duhame, a little bit of a changeup, outside corner again. There's nobody that's going to hit that pitch. If he doesn't swing, okay, it might be off the edge, but that ball looks so juicy, and then it just hits that parachute. Beautifully placed.
There it is again. I mean, you talk about just master brushstrokes here. He is painting corners.
Yeah, in, out, firm, soft. They're going to love him in Wahoo country.
Lee struck out looking against Duhame back in the third. In danger of it here. In danger of becoming strikeout victim number 11 for Cole Duhame. Ooh, good take. Got to have some guts to take a pitch like that.
You do. Brady Lee's got those guts. He's got a little bit of pop in his bat, too. He had a home run against Rice when they met earlier in Game 1 for De La Salle and Game 2 of De La Salle's season.
Lee stays alive. Keeps that count at 3-2. J.J. Jerzyk, the leadoff hitter for De La Salle, waiting on deck. He's reached a couple of times in this game, once on an error and once on a walk. Lee sprays it foul. A defensive two-strike swing.
This is a quality at bat. And yes, he looks uncomfortable up there, but he is wasting pitches away and allowing that pitch count to continue to escalate. Duhame now up to 52 pitches in this game, Evan.
Pitch number 53 is strikeout number 11. Cole Duhame, hello. He's facing maybe the best high school baseball team in Michigan and making them look like middle schoolers.
The brotherhood is the #1 thing at De La Salle. It's just one big family here.
At De La Salle, there's just something that sets it apart. There's a feeling, there's a growth, there's the idea of the builders of boys, makers of men.
They understand that it's a prep school and they're treating it like it's college, which, I mean, I have felt like I could take on anything and I'd be ready to go because how well I've been prepped being here.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
That's Bob Riker, the bench boss for Brother Rice. In his 28th season as head coach. And he's been the head coach since '98. He was the assistant prior to and led them to the promised land, the 2008 state championship. And he did a great job as well in college at Central Michigan Fire Up Chips. But 10 Catholic League titles, 16 district titles. And there he is, Bob Riker for Brother Rice. And he also heads up their science department. He's an excellent teacher. And he's a proud alum of Brother Rice as well. Graduate of '85 and a former Detroit Tiger draft pick.
You know, Chet, I think the thing, and we're biased as a couple of Catholic League alums, but when you get in any sort of environment at the high school level, and certainly the Catholic League fits this bill, the amount of legendary coaches you have from men's, women's, all of the sports is really, really cool to see the traditions they've built. We talk so much on the football side, what Coach Fracassa did at Brother Rice, what Coach Mack did at Catholic Central, Coach Porra did at St. Mary's, but Coach Riker has obviously built a tremendous program at Brother Rice. All they've really got left to do is win their first state title in a while this year.
Yep. Here's the pitch that's tapped away. Kaki walked his last time up in the fourth, struck out his first time up in the first. Lupke is dealing. It's his 58th pitch here in the 6th inning. Line to right center. That's going to drop down for a base hit. It'll fall in front of Lee. And that's a leadoff single for the Duke commit, Broder Katke, the top player in the class of 2027.
And that's such a good piece of hitting, Chad. That is not a bad pitch from Lupke. He, again, tries to throw that unhittable pitch on the outside part of the plate with a fastball, but Katke stayed back on it, stayed with it, And that, believe it or not, is just the second time today that Rice has the leadoff guy on.
Sutton Polacek will come on again to pinch run. He scored the game's only run when he pinch ran back in the 4th. This is Vanamede Cole, the Michigan State commit, headed to East Lansing to play for Jake Boss Jr. and his father, Mark Vanamede, who is the pitching coach at Michigan State. His brother Chase Vanamede is a freshman for Notre Dame and a reliever. Strike 3, he's out. On the corner, a nasty one for Lupke, Evan, who seems to have regained that accuracy.
Well, where he's regained it, Chad, is because he's trusting the fastball again. When he's run into issues the last couple of innings, he's just not trusting his stuff. He's thrown the breaking ball a little bit too much, and it hasn't worked out. I like going back to the heater.
Here's Tristan Turner. Turner had a sacrifice bunt in the 1st. Runner on first, 1 out. 1-0 Brother Rice in this battle for supremacy in the CHSL Central Division. Division that De La Salle leads right now, Evan, as they're 10-2 in league play. Second place is Brother Rice, 8-5. St. Mary's right in the mix. Catholic Central right in the mix. I mean, this is a really good division. The Eaglets and Brother Rice will play on Saturday in a doubleheader, which may or may not be on the prep.
See what Chad did there? Slide it in there, you know. Lay the breadcrumbs. Would love to do it.
Throw back to first to Wagner. Tristan Turner. The batter had a base hit his last time up. Dylan Lupke ready. Inside miss. Runners at first and second. 1 out. And the base path starting to get packed with Warriors as the freshman Hafner steps to the plate.
It's a good frame by Zito, but just a little bit low. Good call by our home plate umpire. Lupke's been dancing out of danger last couple of innings.
Swing and a miss. Double play depth up the middle for Stempen and Pilarski. Kowalczyk at second, Turner at first, Hafner the batter. Tardy on the fastball, 2 are out.
What was so great here by Lupke is the way he changed eye levels and locations. That's what Greg Maddox did for so long, the way he just manipulated the batters. And he went upstairs on the first one, outside on the second one, and Hafner was completely confused. That is really good pitching.
Here's Frederick Beyer, the 7-hitter, and he taps it with a funky spin to third, barehanded but foul. It hit off a foot. Dead ball.
There's a reason Beyer's rocking that shin guard on his left leg. It is amazing, though, how many times the foul balls somehow hit the one part of your foot that's not covered by that.
And why are some guys more susceptible to this hitting into the foot than
I don't
others?
know, man. It's a marvel.
There's a swing and a ground ball firmly to Stempen. Loops it to first. Inning over. 2 are stranded. And Lupke once again dances out of a jam. Evan and I are back with the bottom half of the 6th inning in this 1-0 banger. Thanks for watching on this Wednesday. We're the Prep.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
That's Dan Cimini, one of the best coaches in Michigan high school baseball history. 6 state titles to his credit. His time at Liggett and his time at Northville last year. Just 1 year, you know, in and out, get a state title, goodbye, and now he's here at De La Salle. And what a great get for De La Salle. Dan Roan with a great hire. And Cimini is paying dividends already. All he's done is won at this level. Former Grosse Pointe South graduate and UD Mercy. Once roamed the outfields of UD Mercy. Speedy center fielder.
The influx of coaching talent into the Catholic League the last few years really has been impressive. We just had coaching news earlier on this week. Pat Donnelly, no longer the head coach at U of D Jesuit, now their athletic director. Congratulations to him on an outstanding run of a couple of decades, and you know that program's just going to keep on churning, Chad. We cover them so much during basketball season.
By the way, happy birthday to Dan Cimini. He is 56 years young tomorrow on May 1st. Strikeout for Duhame. The leadoff man, J.J. Jerzyk, is out on strikes.
I mean, that's 12 for Duhame in this game, and he's just located so well. He's known where he wants to go when he gets in potential trouble. What does that mean? Okay, well, it's a 3-2 count or a 2-1 count, and I got to get a strike. Where am I going? Fastball outside of the part of the plate. And De La Salle knows he's throwing it there. It's just been so good they can't hit him.
It's a fine groove to be in. So this is the two-hitter Mason Pilarski, the Western Michigan commit. He's a pitcher that throws in the 90s. There you get a look at the action in the bullpen.
Gotta love a high school bullpen. About 7 steps from a car.
It's Ethan Reedy, the right-hander, at 6'1", 195, and the junior. Fouled at the plate. Mason Pilarski, what a great career. Leading hitter on this team, had 2 home runs against Brother Rice in their sweep over the Warriors earlier this year. Also had a game-winning hit against Orchard Lake St. Mary's. There's a shot to center, hit hard but right at Vanamede for a loud out, number 2.
You can tell Vanamede is a coach's son because those outfield plays, those line drives hit right at you are so hard to judge. You have like half a second to freeze and go, am I going in or am I going back? And you got to make the right read right away, otherwise you're in big trouble. That's a hard hit ball and not an easy one to judge, and a really nice play out there in center.
Yeah, he's one of the real good defensive ones, Cole Vanamede in center. The offense is no slouch either, but speaking of defense, no one's going to get to this one. Watch out for that battery over there warming up. What a game here. Pitchers duel. Cole Duhame has gone all the way. Dylan Lupke has gone all the way. A couple of top-line pitchers in this league going at it. Swing and a miss. 13. Call it lucky, call it unlucky. It's a big number, 13 Ks for Duhame. We go to the final frame in Warren right after this.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Shout out to our friends at Jets down the road on Hayes Road here in Warren for supplying the crew with outstanding pizza and salad and all the rest for this broadcast of Game 1 and 2 of a doubleheader between two of the best in the Catholic League and two of the best in the state. And Brother Rice and De La Salle have not disappointed on this sunny hump day in Warren. Flores lines the first one back from Lupke as Brother Rice nurses this 1-0 lead into the last scheduled inning, 7 innings in high school, and a 1-2 count because you start at 1-1 in the Catholic League.
What are we going to do if we go to extras? Because we only got you for a certain time today. You did have a previous commitment.
Yes.
To all the listeners, this was, I mean, we were lucky just to get you on short notice. You had already planned an event, and it's understandable. But what's our limit with you before you have to leave for your event?
Well, I mean, 6:15, 6:30. Yeah,
Okay.
We got some
All
time.
right.
Yeah.
Just
This
wanna
game
make
can go to
sure.
like 12. 13,
Okay.
we're in trouble. In the air to center. There's it coming in, and one gone in the 7th.
Good swing, though, for Flores. You can see the bat and just the bat speed. I mean, this kid's got some quick wrist action. Good swing against this top-line pitcher. Lupke comes right out and attacks, though. I like the fact that he has gotten right back on track after that slight bump in the road in the 4th.
What camera are we looking at? Hi, by the way. Thanks for watching the broadcast today.
Oh, hey, I have no idea.
Oh, there we are. I think are we looking at Evan over there? We are.
Oh, hi, thanks.
Hello.
Hi, Evan. He's fresh off his tour, his golf tour.
Where did the Westfalls go?
Well, the Westfalls went to different places. Lawrence Tech for Alex, your executive producer. Evan at Madonna.
Oh, I meant for the golf tour.
Oh, I have no idea.
That Quail, a duck that falls down in shallow left, but Hornberger got aggressive on the base paths. Tried to turn a bloop single into a bloop double, and Pilot D wasn't having any of that.
That's big, and this is a boo-boo. I mean, this is a play that I know Hornberger has played some good minutes today. I think 2 hits now, but this is just a base running mistake you can't have. That's a big second run, and he's out, and you got Vandermeed coming up. So good play by the Pilots, though, to stick with it and make the right play.
In Hornberger's defense, it's hard in a game where you have not had a lot of traffic and base runners, where you see one drop like that, you go, I'm going to steal a double here. I get where he was thinking.
I do, too. And, again, maybe I didn't give enough credit, but De La Salle was on that ball. That's
Vandermeed puts a charge into this one to right. That ball's gone. You want insurance? Vandermeed will give you insurance. A laser beam over the right field wall. And a 2-0 lead for Brother Rice.
How about it? Eye-level fastball, and this one is just blistered. And Cash Vandermeed with a pop, batting over 300. The Oakland U commit shows off his power. He's got all the right tools to play Division I baseball in the outfield. And there you see it, a leadoff man, a guy that can run and a guy that can hit, and a guy that knows and plays this game very well.
And Chad, to say what I think a lot of people rooting for De La Salle watching this game are thinking, that second run kind of feels like 7 runs, you know? Two runs in this game feels like 7.
Well, and furthermore, how big is that out at first?
Right.
Trying to stretch into a double. A 3-0, not to get greedy, but if you're Rice, I mean, you're thinking 3-0 feels really good. 2-0 still feels right. But it's like not having a fan when you sleep with a fan on. You know, you might have your nightlight on or whatever, but unless you have that fan on, you're not really getting unless it's 3-0, that fan's not on.
Sharply hit and down and left. We were waiting for Neshoff to show up, and that is a sharp single to left to extend the 7th.
This guy's got some bravado down there. I mean, he looks like a big leaguer. This kid's 14 or 15 or I don't know, maybe 16, but he's a freshman. And he walks, talks, looks like a player. And he's an aggressive, physical young man, and you can just see his confidence and his flair and his ability.
Dylan Lupke has pitched brilliantly today for De La Salle. You know, Cole Duhame for Brother Rice sitting on 13 strikeouts. We'll see if he comes back out for the 7th. But you feel for Lupke, Chad, in this game. If he can get one more out in the 7th, this is 7 innings, a 2-run ball against one of the best lineups in the state in double-digit strikeouts. But it does feel like here, late in the game in the 7th, Brother Rice is figuring him out at least a little bit.
I think so. And it comes down to that second pitch. And in having that second pitch being sharp or not right. Yeah, Brother Rice, second, third time through. I mean, they're starting to sniff things out. Pitch number 81.
Elevated heat, and Broder Katke swung and missed. 2 gone, top of the 7th. De La Salle needs a couple of runs to extend the game, bottom 7, and they will have the right part of the lineup, 4, 5, 6. It'll start with a cleanup man, Stempen. Lined out sharply to center last time, and then Wagner and Bismack after that. Got to get one more out here, though, to make sure it stays at 2-0. Broder Katke, very talented as batter at the plate for Brother Rice. Walked and scored in the 4th. As of now, that's the game-winning run. Cash Vandermeed has given the Warriors insurance here in the 7th with a line drive laser beam over the right field wall. Pitch out, chance to throw to second. They didn't get him. It's a stolen base for Neshoff, and now Brother Rice has a runner in scoring position.
Another tool Neshoff has. The kid can run. One of the things we didn't mention, there you see it on full display, and that's run number 3. That's the fan. That run comes in, that fan's on nighty-night.
Katke calls time. Cole Vandermeed on deck. But for now, all eyes are locked on Katke against Lupke. Who wins this pivotal battle? We don't know the answer yet.
Yeah, and you said it. You look behind, I mean, Cole Vandermeed's on deck, and he's a dangerous hitter. And I know he's been kept in check today, but, I mean, this guy is dangerous. And Katke, first base is open. You think about it, but they're going right at him.
Got him! Dylan Lupke, strikeout number 11. And
wow.
Bloop and a blast is still in effect for De La Salle. Their last licks go in bottom 7. It may be Brother Rice lead, but Dylan Lupke just went 7 innings, a 2-run ball with, count 'em, 11 Ks.
The brotherhood is the #1 thing at De La Salle. It's just one big family here.
De La Salle, there's just something that sets it apart. There's a feeling, there's a growth, there's the idea of the builders of boys, makers of men.
They understand that it's a prep school and they're treating it like it's college, which, I mean, I felt like I could take on anything and I'd be ready to go because how well I've been prepped being here.
Cole Duhame, the stud lefty on the mound for Brother Rice, bound for Virginia. They're getting a stud in Charlottesville. He's back on to try to pitch a complete game shutout against a team that a lot think is the best, regardless of class in baseball, in the state of Michigan. 2-0 Brother Rice as we go bottom 7. Cole Duhame, Chad, has gone 6 scoreless to start with 13 strikeouts. Let's see how this last inning goes for him.
He's lived up to the billing, and early on he had to find his groove a little bit, but once he found his slot in the second, I mean, he has just been on cruise control, as you mentioned, 13 punch-outs, and he has had the fastball on location, the change on location and also that 12-6 bender. It's been really good too.
Task number 1 in the 7th for Duhame is Mason Stempen, who struck out swinging to end the first, lined out sharply to center in the 4th. One of the best swings against Cole Duhame today. 2-2 the count. Stempen stays alive. Zach Wagner on deck and John Bismack after that. They've each struck out twice against Cole Duhame in this game. 2-2. Ooh, almost hit him. Breaking ball that backed him up.
Not afraid to throw inside. It's one of Duhame's MOs, and being able to do that with confidence without hitting a batter is important. He has that in him.
That's just his 2nd walk of the game. And De La Salle will bring the tying man to the plate here in the last of the 7th.
Yeah, they had Reedy up earlier, and yeah, Duhame starting to grow a little long in the tooth, but they're going to let him go, and how can you not? But the tying run comes to the plate here as Duhame's about to hurl his 68th pitch of the early evening.
Wagner has struck out twice against Duhame in this game. They've both been swinging. He struck out on 2 pitches in the 2nd. Friendly reminder, here in the Catholic League, the count starts at 1-1. And he took Duhame to 5 pitches and then struck out in the 4th. High heat, wave and a miss. 1-2.
Outstanding at bat for Stempen to get on base. He can run a bit, but Wagner can find the net and right field as well with one swing.
Just missed. When Cole's needed a punch out today, Chad, that's where he's gone, outside corner.
And he's gotten that call today. And I'm not saying that was the wrong call, but that's the call that's been a strike most of the day now. And so we'll see how, if he flirts again with that edge.
He did, but he went to the breaking ball, and the corner wasn't granted.
He's so good. I mean, he found exactly where he wanted with his next pitch. This is a huge one here. Will they start Stempen?
Would you start him?
No.
Got him! Back to the outside corner, and strikeout number 14 for Cole Duhame.
Man, on the inside corner, inside edge, big time pitch. Just freezes Wagner with the off speed. And just under the hands, no chance, late break. Really tough.
Bismack choking up on that bat and fouls the first one off.
Good contact hitter, kid with some speed. He's been really solid for them this year. John Bismack. He's really held down at third base.
Got him on the inside corner. That's 15 strikeouts and 1 out away from a 7-inning masterpiece against the best team in the state.
Yeah, this one inside corner, four-seamer, firm, tough.
Joey Capari, the last hope for De La Salle in game 1 of this twin bill. Brother Rice, 1 strike away from winning game 1 against a De La Salle team that's lost twice all year. And Cole Duhame, 1 more strike away from 16 strikeouts. Pari's had a couple of good defensive two-strike swings against Duhame. He's just trying to keep this game alive.
Yeah, he's one of the underclassmen, one of the leaders. Tough spot here.
Pari struck out twice in this game against Duhame, but he battled him. Took him to 7 pitches in the second. Took him deep as well in the 5th. Stempin's the runner at first. He walked to start the inning. One of 2 walks for Duhame in 15 strikeouts. Pash Daka, the man on deck. He's got home run pop for De La Salle. He got him! His best pitch of the day is his last. Cole Duhame take a bow. A complete game, 16 strikeout shutout against the best team in the state. And Brother Rice takes game 1.
The brotherhood is the #1 thing at De La Salle. It's just one big family here.
De La Salle, there's just something that sets it apart. There's a feeling, there's a growth, there's the idea of the builders of boys, makers of men.
Faculty, they're amazing because they want what's best for the students as a whole.
They understand that it's a prep school and they're treating it like it's college, which, I mean, I have felt like I could take on anything and I'd be ready to go because how well I've been prepped being here.
By the time you got out of school as a senior, you were ready to take on the world. That self-confidence that I don't think I could have gotten almost anywhere else, and I think I've taken that with me throughout my entire personal and professional career.
When we were here, they didn't want you to leave at 2:30. Like, they wanted you to stick around. They wanted to have that community feel.
We really encouraged at the freshman level to, like, you got a small interest in something, give it a try. Once they get involved with something, that's when it's like they're hooked. And so, like, I think that's really key, and it's something we do a really good job at.
There's so many options. There's always somewhere you can be connected. You can even create a club. If you gather enough people, get a teacher to support you, you can probably help make that club for other people to enjoy.
De La Salle, it's a staple of Metro Detroit. You know, the Christian Brothers really have the, recipe book for how to make a true man. It's great to see, it's great to experience. Just look at the students now, look at the students in the past, look at a lot of the prominent people, especially on our walls that you see. There's so many different things, and that's a true reflection.
Two nothing. Brother Rice wins it. They've now won 5 of their last 6 games. De La Salle goes to 12-3 and 10-3 in league play. Brother Rice advances to 13-7, 9-5 in league play. Chad Bush, Evan Stockton back with you. Some highlights from this game, sir, and your thoughts on this fine Wednesday afternoon.
Honestly, my first thought is I feel bad for Dylan Lukey for De La Salle. He was great. He goes 7 innings on the mound for the Pilots, strikes out 11, but Brother Rice has Cole Duhame just remarkable. That has got to be one of the best starts in the state all year long. 7 innings, 1 hit, and 16 strikeouts. And give credit to Brother Rice, right? They did enough. They scratched across the run in the 4th. They got that big solo home run from Vandermeed in the 7th, which gave them just enough breathing space in the last of the 7th. And now I'm curious to see what Game 2 looks like, because Brother Rice gets that great start from Duhame in Game 1, saves the bullpen that they may need in Game 2. It's really impressive stuff, and for a Brother Rice program that's very talented but very young, for them to get a win against a De La Salle team that's played so well all year long, really impressive.
It was indeed. De La Salle, of course, took the first 2 of the series. And Brother Rice gets 1 back. And it was about the aces going at it, partner. Dylan Lupke was fabulous as well, overshadowed, rightfully so, by Cole Duhame, but it was really about 2 big-time starters going at it, and both had big-time days, and both have confidence moving forward.
And we talked about this throughout the game. The thing that was so impressive with Cole Duhame was, like, De La Salle, I know they only had 1 in the hit of the game, but they did leave 4 guys on base, and especially in the 7th, the leadoff walk for Stempen to start the inning, you're wondering, okay, is Duhame tiring? He wasn't. He just consistently found pitches like that when he needed to. He went to the outside part of the plate. He mixed locations to the inside part of the plate, and that last knee-buckling curve, I mean, come on. Poor Joey Kupari just bending backward like he was doing the limbo on vacation. That was an outstanding pitch, and a heck of a win for Brother Rice and a heck of a start.
That's going to be you later tonight. Margaritas and tacos and a little limbo.
Amen.
He's Evan Stockton. My name is Chad Bush. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Austin Sonnenberg on replay. Mike Batchis on audio. Rob the Huntman Hunter on graphics. Evan Westfall on camera. David Forrest on a camera. And who's our other camera operator? We got another one? Evan, another Evan?
We got Evan Westfall over there.
Evan Westfall. All right, we got everybody. My name is Chad Bush. We are the Prep. 2-0. Brother Rice knocks off De La Salle. We will have Game 2 on a separate link coming up in about 20 minutes or so. Call it 6 o'clock. Look forward to joining you then. Joe Mooney and I will have coverage. Thank you very much, Evan Stockton. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
We'll see you soon enough. Have a great afternoon, everybody. See you in 20 minutes. So long.